This guy right here has recently received one of the most outrageous contracts we've seen in the NFL of late, at least for somebody of his caliber. And today we need to discuss the whole situation because, my God, it's outrageous. Hello guys, welcome back to the Taste of Sport channel. My name is Luke and today we are here to talk about Daniel Jones, the New York Giants, and the big old contract he just received, which was a 4-year, $160 million contract, which I think with add-ons or incentives or whatever it is you want to call them can go up to, I think it was $195 million over 4 years, which is insane for someone like Daniel Jones. Oh my goodness. What that's going to do to the quarterback market is terrifying, because I know there are a good few quarterbacks in the next, maybe even next year, or at least the next couple of years, that are going to look at Daniel Jones's contract and go, well, I'm way better than him, so pay me way more. Where Daniel Jones even got the idea that he was going to be so demanding for so much money, I don't know. There's obviously so much going on behind the scenes here that we don't know, because there's no way in hell on face value, if you just look at his game and just look at the Giants, that Daniel Jones is worth a contract that is $195 million over 4 years. Absolutely no way. But obviously Brian Daboll likes him as a quarterback. There's no doubting that, because the money says it. He has improved recently. The Giants did have an above average season. I mean, if we're looking in the general scheme of things, like, it was a good season for the Giants. As a Giants supporter, knowing what has come in the past, it was a good season. But in the full picture of the NFL, it was an above average season and that's it. But he's improving. Brian Daboll obviously has liked his response since he's come into the team. It must be something along these lines. I mean, I could be wrong in what I'm saying, but from an outsider's point of view, this is what it looks like. And I mean, he's a young quarterback. Brian Daboll must have just done the absolute most in the office to convince people that Daniel Jones was worth this, because holy shit. And obviously Daniel Jones and his agent were negotiating for this deal for a long time. So, I mean, miracles have been worked, because he has the contract. 4 years, nearly $200 million is outrageous. And Daniel Jones has secured the bag, basically, which means Saquon Barkley gets no bag. He gets tagged, and I think he gets $10 million for the year or something like that, which is a rough situation in itself, because you can argue that Saquon Barkley is the soul of the offense, and the stats back it up. There are plenty of stats out there that say that the offense with Saquon Barkley is fire, and the offense without Saquon Barkley is just trash and kind of predictable and hasn't done as well. So, I mean, if you're taking Saquon out of the team and it's not doing as well, why are we giving Daniel Jones $200 million? It's outrageous. But I guess as a Giants fan, we just have to put our entire trust in Brian Daboll and what he has seen, because, I mean, he needs to show us all what he's seen, because I'm not seeing it anyway. And touching on those stats, I have some written down here in front of me. So stats with or without Saquon Barkley, the touchdown to interception numbers with Saquon Barkley are 44 touchdowns to 17 interceptions. And then without Saquon Barkley, it is 16 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. So with him, 44-17. Without him, 16-17. I mean, if you're just looking at that and nothing else, it's an insane situation, which I know is what a lot of people's reaction to this contract has been. Stuff like this has been all over Twitter. And another interesting one that I saw that I thought I had to bring up, because it is another insane one. Since 2019, Daniel Jones and Baker Mayfield have almost identical stats. Obviously, different kind of quarterbacks in a different stage of their career. But like I'm saying, if you're just purely looking at stats, Baker Mayfield is also worth $200 million over 4 years, which is insane. The New York Giants, if you've watched the Giants over the past few years, with Saquon Barkley, the offense has looked decent. It hasn't looked top tier because there's been multiple other problems, but we'll ignore them for now. We're just going to look at Daniel Jones' performances, Saquon Barkley's performances, and the kind of impact that they've had. So if you're just looking at Daniel Jones when there's been no Saquon, the offense has just looked bland. There's not much has been going on, and it's been a bit predictable looking. Obviously, defenses have figured it out as well because the games have been rough sometimes when there's no Saquon. But then when Barkley is there, we get the kind of season that we got last year. So I don't understand why so much of the good stuff has been put down to Daniel Jones and how he has played. Because that's what this contract means, basically, is that Daniel Jones is one of the main reasons, or if not the main reason, that the Giants are turning around. This guy right here, he's got a lot of explaining to do. Obviously, he's not going to explain because you don't do that. But oh my God, this next season is literally with this contract, this next season for the Giants has literally turned into do or die. Because if next season is a fail and Daniel Jones looks miserable, we've just given him $200 million to do nothing. And realistically, he hasn't proved anything yet. He's just been average. Yes, he had a good game against Minnesota, but that was it. You don't give a man $200 million over 4 years because he had one good playoff game. Look what he did in the next playoff game against the Eagles. Oh, it's a very confusing situation. I want to believe in Brian Daboll, and I have hopes. Like, if all goes well, Brian Daboll works his magic, and the Giants look good, then it's fine. Whatever. Maybe we preemptively paid him the money, but we kept him, and now he's a good quarterback. Maybe one of the best in the league. Who knows? Because, I mean, if we turn into one of the best teams in the league, Daniel Jones could turn into one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I feel like I've backed him for so long, but the $200 million asks for fans to back Daniel Jones more than his play has asked, if that makes sense. We watch him on the field and you're like, I don't really know about this guy. And then they whack $200 million his way and it's like, okay, we kind of have to back him now because he's stuck with us because we've given him that contract. And if you go back just one season, there were so many doubts around the league, around the office, that we were even going to keep Daniel Jones. And now, you can't go away from the money. We've just whacked $200 million in his lap. Brian Daboll has tidied up his game. Yes, he only had 5 picks this last season, which is a hell of a lot better than what he has been doing. But he also only had 15 touchdowns, and he also wasn't a game changer in, I would argue, any of the games. Maybe there's one or two that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but $200 million, man. Oh, it's crazy. And yeah, like I said, he's been slowly improving. Brian Daboll has slowly tidied up his game. I would say that was what it is. Schoen has come out and said the free agency is different now for the Giants and it's a sign of the times because we're not looking to get people on veteran minimums anymore. We're looking to sign actual players, bring actual good moves in free agency. So, I mean, that remains to be seen. But this season, fans are going to be asking for a lot this season. If the football on the field doesn't reflect the money spent on just Daniel Jones, there's going to be a lot of anger on the social medias. There's going to be a lot of fan backlash. And you know what? A contract like that deserves a magnifying glass. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones. I can't wait, to be honest, because like I said, it's do or die. And if they do, exciting times. But if they don't, it's going to be a painful one. Any Giants fans, any NFL fans in general, let me know what you think of Daniel Jones' contract in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe as well if you want to stick around for more content. There's going to be plenty of Giants content from myself. And of course, we cover all other NFL news on Taste of Sport as well, in shorts, in videos, in a bit of everything. Hit subscribe, stick around for it all, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.